Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. The Young and the Restless. Chelsea referees between Billy and Adam. Victor gives Adam his marching orders, and Nate welcomes Damien to the family business. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. Billy walks into the club and runs into Adam and Chelsea on their way out. He informs them he knows about Victor's plan to smear him in the press and remarks that the mustache overplayed his hand by giving him an ultimatum. It's not going to happen. He tells Adam to take his best shot. They all know how much he wants to please Daddy. Adam suggests Victor knew how he'd react and is already making his next move. That's why he always loses. Victor's always 10 steps ahead of him. Billy and Adam keep sparring verbally about Victor. Billy calls him a cutthroat son of a bitch. Adam needles about the Abbott house being a shrine to John. Chelsea interjects and asks Adam to stop. Billy says his father was an honorable man and mocks Adam for the fear he must have of his old man's rejection and being banished from the kingdom. Adam's sorry his life is full of resentment, mistrust, and hatred. Billy says when it comes to him and his family, "You're damn right." Adam steps away to take a call and Billy bets Chelsea that the phone call is marching orders to put a hit out on him. Chelsea informs Billy he's not making things better by sniping. Billy asks if she regrets getting back with Adam. Chelsea doesn't want to discuss Adam with Billy and snarks that it must be exhausting being constantly at war. Billy claims it's out of his hands most of the time. Chelsea calls this a cop-out. Billy will stay in his lane if Adam does, but Daddy's pulling the strings on Puppet Boy. Chelsea reminds him there are kids involved and asks him to be the person who stops retaliating. Billy questions Chelsea about thinking he's the reasonable one and reminds her Adam and Victor are coming after him. Chelsea doesn't believe attacking him is Adam's priority. Billy says it's Victor's priority. Does she expect him to surrender? If he doesn't fight back, they will eat him alive. This battle isn't even about him. Adam and Victor want to taint him in Duma's eyes, so he wants nothing to do with him. Chelsea asks why. Adam said she'll have to ask her boyfriend. Adam reappears and asks what he missed. In the jazz lounge, Phyllis is sure Victor's aware that Billy's been in contact with his business rival, Aristotle Dumas. Victor asks what he has in the works. Phyllis first has to know of his level of interest. She said she spoke to Summer, who is in Milan working on building Marchetti into an incredible brand. Victor spoke to her himself. They agree she's impressive and a chip off the old block. Phyllis tells the mustache he looks amazing. Victor reminds her she only has 5 minutes. What information does she have? Phyllis won't give him anything until he promises her something in return, a business opportunity for her and her son. Victor guesses she doesn't know what she wants to do. Why would he invest in something if he doesn't know what it's about? When she decides, they can talk. Phyllis shrugs that she'll just call Aristotle Dumas and says she has a direct line to him. Victor doubts it. She fumes that he's so arrogant and always in control. Victor intones that he is in control. Why does she think he is where he is? Phyllis has concrete information he can use against Dumas. Something they can use against each other. She came to him out of loyalty to Summer, but she'll take this information to the highest bidder. Victor says, "You're playing me." Phyllis reminds him she's worked with Billy and has heard things. She claims she quit. Victor heard he asked her to leave. Phyllis snaps, "It's a lie." Victor says Billy doesn't like his ultimatum, so he wants to put Dumas and Newman in competition with one another for Chancellor. He tells Phyllis he's been playing this game for a long time. Billy Abbott will always revert to old form. Get it in your head. He's a loser. Phyllis tells Victor that's only part of the information. Victor thinks she's bluffing. If there were more information he would know about it by now. Phyllis has information that can help him with his battle against Dumas. Victor doesn't need her help and asks her to stop. He knows she's gone through a difficult time and he wishes her the best. But don't try to play me. I don't like it. He wishes her the best with her and Daniel's business. But that's it. The next time she comes to him with a plan, she should know what she's talking about. I'm Victor Newman. I know what I'm talking about. With that, he walks away. At Nate's place, he hangs up the phone and tells Audra that Damien and Amy will be there soon. Audra says she's missed her and is glad the treatments are working. Nate agrees it will buy her more time. Audra can't wait to have her shopping buddy back. Nate reminds her she has a business to get off the ground and asks if Victor has come through with the funding yet. It becomes clear that he hasn't. Nate gets the feeling there's something about the arrangement she's not telling him. Nate's always suspicious where Victor's concerned, with good reason. Audra loves that he's looking out for her. But she's got this. I can handle Victor. Nate muses, famous last words. Audra reminds him she comes from the school of Tucker McCall, who taught her to be ruthless and unforgiving. She let her guard down with Victor before, but has learned from it. She won't let him get the better of her again. The doorbell rings and Nate greets Amy and Damien. Welcome home. Amy tells him how much it means to her to hear him call this her home. Audra hugs Amy and tells her home is where her family and friends are. She asks about her new job. Audra says it's her very own company. She'll tell her all about it at lunch tomorrow. Damien prompts Amy to rest. Amy says she feels better and more optimistic. Damien says it's all because of Nate. They go over how glad Amy is that she reached out to Nate. They tease her about being a negative Nancy. Damien recaps that he and Nate spent time getting to know each other in Boston. Amy grimaces and Audra takes her upstairs to get settled in. Amy tells Damien and Nate, I am so very lucky. Once alone, Damien tells Nate he doesn't know where his mother would be if not for him. He asks if he has anything to get off his chest about him coming to work with him and the family. Damien tells Nate that Lily told him he has reservations about her plan. Why doesn't he like it? Nate's surprised he'd even consider it. Damien wants to know what his problem is with the plan. Nate doesn't believe it will work. Damien thinks it will. Nate asks what happens if Dumas figures out what he's up to. Damien thinks he's looking for any excuse not to have him come and work with him. What's the deal, Nate? You don't trust me. Nate blurts, I am trying to protect you. Damn it, I'm trying to protect my brother. Damien asks Nate what he's trying to protect him from. Nate says this has been a roller coaster ride for all of them, but especially for Damien. It's been a lot to take in. When Lily told him about the whole double agent idea, it sounded like too much, that's all. Damien wasn't expecting an answer like that. He's used to looking out for himself. Nate says this is new for him too. But here they are. Damien asks if he'd have a problem with him being at Winters. Nate says he trusts him. Damien's glad to hear that. Nate tells him he'd be a real asset to the company. If he decides to go ahead with the Dumas thing, that's his choice. Damien will go ahead provided the terms are right. There are some risks, but this is where he wants to be. This is where I belong. With family. Nate guesses the only thing left to say is, congratulations and welcome to the company. Amy and Audra come down the stairs and Amy is thrilled at the news. Audra asks if Devin and Lily signed off on this. Nate says it's pretty much a done deal. He didn't want to say anything until Damien had been offered the job. Audra asks what will happen with Holden. Damien hopes that he'll take over his old job in Los Angeles. Amy's glad her son is getting away from that man he was working for. Audra marvels at how far they've all come. Amy could not be happier. This is a dream come true. At the club, Chelsea tells Adam she was telling Billy she wanted the feud to end. Billy says he told her not to get her hopes up. Chelsea and Adam say goodnight and Billy pulls up a chair at the bar and orders a scotch. Just then, Victor saunters up and tells him the clock is ticking. Do you have an answer for me? Billy has a lot to say, but none of it is pleasant. He suggests Victor wander on home. Victor says he offered him a lifeline. Billy doesn't trust him, so his answer is no. Victor says he's making a mistake. Billy won't be blackmailed or bullied. Victor smirks. You never learn, do you? Billy says if he fails, he'll fail on his own terms. Victor mutters that he really doesn't know what's coming at him. How will his brother Jack feel about all this? Billy says it doesn't matter what he says. He won't tell him what he knows about Dumas. Billy hopes to see him stumble for a change. Victor smirks. Don't count on that. At the door, Victor pulls out his phone and calls Adam. Son, I want you to release that Billy Abbott smear campaign as soon as it is ready. In Crimson Lights, Adam tells Chelsea that was Victor ordering him to follow through on the attack. Chelsea reminds him he said he wasn't going to do it. Adam will handle it his way. She complains that he was fighting with Billy earlier and asks, What are you going to do? Adam replies, I can't tell you yet. Chelsea says this sounds very familiar. It's everything she didn't want to be a part of. Adam insists he has everything under control. All she has to do is trust him to handle it. Can you do that for me? In the jazz lounge, Phyllis calls the phone number for Aristotle Dumas and gets Dumas' assistant. She wants to speak to Dumas right away. It has to do with a business venture with Billy Abbott and also Victor Newman. She has some information that might be beneficial. Can you just get him on the line right away? The assistant offers to pass her information on to Mr. Dumas. She wants to speak to him. The man says he'll let him know she called and hangs up. Phyllis hyperventilates. Phyllis. You're down, but you're not out. You're never out. You'll figure something out.